following is a presentation of the Championship Racing Network.
Drivers, start your engines. Pull those belts down tight one more time, warm up those tires, hit your marks, and let's go racing, boys and girls. Nascar, Indycar, Formula One, Formula E, and NHRA Racing Talk. This is the Championship Racing Network. Now here is your host, Steve West and Matt Nicholson, with producer John Myers.
Yeah, we're all here about an hour earlier than what we usually are. Reason why, flagship radio station, doing college football. They are an Alabama affiliate this year, and they've got the early kick against Wisconsin, which means they go live on the air at 8 a.m. when we would normally be on the air. So there you go. So not only are we early, we're also a little bit shortened. Big news from the NHRA coming this morning. We got driver comings and goings. Got a driver close to having to sit out a race in Formula One. Could Formula E still be an 11-team series? It's a possibility. Got two drivers from one team making a questionable move after a race last weekend. Got a track that could be in some legal trouble. Mention that. And, hey, whatever else we can fit into on this shortened show. We're going to get into it next right here with myself, Steve West, Matt Nicholson over there, producer John on CRN Live on YouTube. Thank you for joining us on this special edition of CRN.
Stay right here for more on the Championship Racing Network. Back to more racing action on the Championship Racing Network.
Welcome in. Appreciate you joining us. And again, a little bit early because of college football, Alabama football specifically here on our flagship station, going to be coming on at 8 a.m. And, well, Matt and I didn't want to get up ridiculously early.
Nope.
As it was, I got up about the time that I usually do during the week anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Welcome to it. Since we got a shortened show, let's get into it and hit it hard here. Talk about last weekend, the race recap, schedule for this weekend. And last weekend's results, we start in Ohio. IHRA running the Outlaw Nitro Series at Durana Raceway in the town of Hebron. Top Fuel prepping for his return to NHRA competition. Sean Reed ran. He made it to the finals. Took on Larry Dixon Jr. Dixon with a better reaction time, but then Reed took over, gets the win. 3.819 ET, 327.75 miles per hour. Let's just say that Sean Reed appears to be, more than ready to get back into NHRA competition. Shall we put it that way?
I think he's good.
Yeah, I think he's all right. Speaking of NHRA and IHRA crossover, funny car, Del Worsham in there. He took on Dan Hicks in the finals. Worsham with a quicker reaction time, but Hicks powers through. Worsham lighting up the tires at the same time. Hicks's winning run, not exactly stellar, 4.329 ET, 295.86, but hey, win's a win, right?
You take them how you can get them.
That's it.
You take them how you can get them.
SSDT, yeah, we've all heard the acronyms beginning, same story. I'll leave it like that. Different, in this case, track. Didn't seem to matter where he's racing. Connor Zilic seems to have the number in the Xfinity Series. Zilic came into NASCAR as a road racing ace, but he has taken to ovals pretty much like a duck to water. This is what we keep thinking SVG might do. Connor Zilic has done it,
and then some.
I mean, good night almighty. If he adjusts to the Cup Series this quick, everybody up there better be on high alert.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a fair way to put it.
9th win of the year so far. 4 straight wins heading into the playoffs. He is the final Xfinity Series regular champion, too, because as of next year, O'Reilly Auto Parts becomes the title sponsor. Typically dominant, too. Led 121 of the 160 laps. As noted, claimed the regular season title. Nets him an extra 15 playoff points, like he needed those. William Sawalich second, Christian Eckes third, Brandon Jones, Jesse Love, then Eric Almirola, Daniel Hemrick, Parker Retzlaff, Corey Day, and Daniel Dye making up the top 10. Playoff seeds are set. 1 seed, Zilic. Then Justin Allgaier, Austin Hill, Sam Mayer, Jesse Love, Brandon Jones, Sammy Smith, Nick Sanchez, Taylor Gray, Carson Kvapil. You and I, we did our playoff predictions on Tuesday during the Crossed Flags episode that's up right now on CRN Live. So if you want to know who it is that we think is going to move on from the round of 12 to the round of 8 and then the championship 4 and who we think is going to ultimately hoist the title, you can check it out on Crossed Flags. I'd say wait until 8 o'clock, and then that way you don't miss anything going on here.
Yeah.
See? It's all how that works out.
It all works out.
Yeah, it really does. Sunday morning's racing started in Italy. Formula One going to Monza, one of, if not the fastest track in Formula One. Red Bull and Max Verstappen liked it too. Claimed the pole, went on to the win as well. For a moment, it appeared it was going to be another McLaren triumph. Lando Norris taking the lead at the start of the second lap. Not to say that, a little bit of contact maybe. Verstappen recovers, reclaims the point a couple of laps later, and from there, he was dominant. Claimed the win by a margin of more than 19 seconds. McLaren's left gasping for second and third. The downforce that the McLarens have had works at most tracks, but when you're talking about a speed track like a Monza, downforce can be a detriment.
Yeah, downforce will kill you at a high-speed track.
And it did for McLaren. So Norris besting his championship-leading teammate Oscar Piastri, second and third. Charles Leclerc, fourth. George Russell, fifth. Rest of your top 10. Lewis Hamilton, Alex Albon, Gabriel Bortoleto. Nice run for him. Kimi and Antonelli. And despite starting on pit road, none of one of those drivers coming up and getting points. Isaac Hajar gets 10th.
Yep.
Piastri still leads the title race amongst the drivers. He's got a 324 to 293 lead over his teammate Lando Norris. Then you got Max Verstappen down there with 230, 63 out of second, and just shy of 100 out of first. There are enough races for him mathematically to do it, but Monza is kind of stands alone. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
Mathematically, I could see where it could happen. Realistically, not really certain it's gonna.
It would take It would take both McLarens breaking 2 races in a row
Oh, at least.
for
Maybe
him, to
more.
even have a remote chance.
Maybe more. 194 for George Russell. Charles Leclerc holds 163. Lewis Hamilton 6'6" with 117. Alex Albon down there with 70. Kimi Antonelli next, 66. Isaac Hajar, easy for me to say, has 38. And Nico Hulkenberg rounding out the top 10 with 37. Dual podium for McLaren's got them now up to a 617 to 280 point lead over Ferrari. That's more than double. Talk about walking away with it. Mercedes has 260. Red Bull's now got 239. So 41 points separate second and through fourth. Still very much up for grabs. Red Bull needs to have somebody else step up. It can't be all on Max, though. Williams leads the rest. They've got 86. Aston Martin's got 62. Racing Bulls now with 61. Sauber 55. Haas F1 44. And then there's Alpine continuing to hold down the basement with 20, and they're doing a fantastic job of holding down the basement.
They are.
Sunday afternoon Cup Series running at Worldwide Tech Raceway at Gateway. There wasn't really any one strategy for any one driver in the end, delivering the 200th Cup win for the Toyota brand. It was Denny Hamlin standing in victory lane, bested his Joe Gibbs Racing teammate Chase Briscoe, who had won the week before by about 1.6 seconds. Now, Hamlin, of course, loves to poke the bear, in this case the fans, and this time didn't use the phrase, "I beat your favorite driver," all of them. Instead, he chose to say, quote, "You can either get on the bandwagon or get run over by it."
To which that ticked him off a little bit worse.
Denny Hamlin is embracing the bad guy role.
He is.
I mean, he is not just embracing it. The man is hugging it to the point of death. I mean, he's squeezing the life out of being the bad guy.
Yep. He is. He is.
What has prompted this desire to just fall right into it and just act like it's the comfortable pair of jeans that we've owned for 20 years?
I really can't put my finger on it.
I don't know honestly. Either. I don't know either. Whatever.
It's hard to put your finger on it.
Yeah. He loves it. What's for us to say about it, right?
True.
Hamlin and Briscoe, they're trailed by Chase Elliott in third, then Ryan Blaney and Joey Logano. Rest of your top 10, John Hunter, Nemechek, Christopher Bell, Bubba Wallace, Chris Buescher, Ty Gibbs. Hamlin and Briscoe moving on to round 2. Kyle Larson leads the way for the rest as far as the points are concerned. The drivers that are on the hot seat, those are what's really more important going into tonight's race. Austin Dillon, he's 11 under the cut line. Shane Van Gisbergen, who we really kind of thought might tread water enough to get through round number 1, has all but frittered away his points advantage.
Well, he was in a better position last week until a bad pit stop and bad luck just put him in the back of the field.
Yeah.
And he couldn't overcome it.
And he now sits 15 under the cut line. Alex Bowman and Josh Berry are effectively win at all costs, 35, 45 points down, and they also have to get over 3 and 4 drivers respectively. So it's going to have to be really win for the 48 and 21, or they're gone after round number 1.
Yeah.
This weekend of racing actually began on Thursday. Craftsman Truck Series running the UNOH 200, presented by Ohio Logistics at Bristol. Lane Riggs proved spinning out at Bristol isn't the end of the day, as long as you do it early.
On lap 1.
Real early, yeah, like lap 1. Took some time, but he was able to recover. Grabs the lead on the restart on lap 142. Held off Ben Rhodes. Gets win number 3 on the season, and he moves on to the second round of the Truck Series playoffs. Rhodes settling for second. Corey Heim third. Ty Majeski, Daniel Hemrick, Tanner Gray, Connor Mosack, Andres Perez de Lara, Corey LaJoy, who is now, remember, full-time in that truck for the rest of the season, and Matt Crafton round out the top 10. As we noted, Riggs is now on the board in the round of 8 in the playoffs. The two who are under the cut line on the hot seat, Jake Garcia and Chandler Smith. They sit 14 and 24 points under the cut line, currently set by Rajat Karuth. But remember, they got 2 more races to fix that. So I'm not going to say that anybody's mathematically out or in need of a win right now.
Yep.
Last night at Bristol, Xfinity Series getting their playoffs underway. Food City 300. Matt?
Deer Cup Series. If you want to fix the short track stuff, look no further.
There you go.
This was a very, very entertaining race to me. one of the more entertaining Bristol races I've seen in a while. Even though they sprayed all the PJ1 on the bottom, it still didn't matter because the groove went straight to the top of the racetrack and there was actually lanes of racing.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all.
And at the end of the night, it was Eric Almirola on a pit strategy, was able to stay out front and get the win. Sheldon Creed making a very, very, very hard charge, just came up just a fraction short, was second again. Sam Mayer third, Carson Quapple fourth, Connor Zilic fifth, Justin Allgaier sixth, Harrison Burton seventh, Christian Eckes eighth, Jeremy Clements ninth, and Brendan Poole 10th.
All right, so Eric Almirola's win, except to him and the 19 team, means very, very little. They're not playoff eligible, so it's not like they move on. Connor Zilic continues to lead, sits a nice 83 points over the cut line that's currently been set by Taylor Gray. Gray's 3 up on Nick Sanchez and Jesse Love, then 16 over Austin Hill. Remember, Austin Hill's playoff bonus points went away because of his suspension. So, yeah, they're gone. 16 under and all but in need of a win. Sammy Smith now already 24 down. He had a massive problem on pit road last night.
No, he had an engine failure.
Engine failure, thank you. I knew it was something that caused him to be way back there. And again, the reason I state this differently now, because even though it's only after race number 1 for them, you got to realize not only is he 24 points down, but he's also got to jump over 3 drivers to do it. And that's the probably more difficult part when you stop and think about it.
Yep.
Tonight, Cup Series going to wrap up the round of 16 Bass Pro Shops night race at Bristol. That'll be on USA and PRN Radio, 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central Time. I'm sorry, wait a minute. That's not right. The timing is wrong on that.
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. Thank you. I don't know where I got that from. Yeah, after this, that playoff field for the Cup Series is going to be down to a dozen. So here we go.
And whoever had the great idea of having this race on the same day that Tennessee and Georgia are playing within a very short proximity away. Yeah, we got to talk about that one.
Yeah.
That's going to hurt.
Camera angles are going to be very interesting tonight.
Yes, they
Let's
are.
Put it that way. And tomorrow, NHRA Countdown of the Championship gets rolling. 40th NHRA Reading Nationals, presented by Pro Fish at Maple Grove Raceway. On track, the eliminations will get rolling at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central Time. On television, Fox Sports 1 will pick up the coverage, NFL. Starting at 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central Time. Formula One, IHRA both have this weekend off. So let's go ahead, take this break. When we come back, we're going to do something we don't generally do on a regular basis, but the news was just big enough this week to where we couldn't avoid it. We're going to kick off with the straight liners. The biggest news of the week came out of the NHRA, and that is where we're going to get into the news when we come back. But don't worry, we got F1 news, we've got Cup Series, we've got Xfinity, and we got Formula E. Can we get it all in time? Let's find out.
We will be right back with more on the Championship Racing Network.
So you're looking for...
Check out To the Track for more action on the Championship Racing Network.
Welcome back in to this early and only 1 hour edition of CRN this morning. I'm Steve West, Matt Nicholson, producer John on CRN Live on YouTube as well. So if you happen to be up there, say hello to him. Think about this for a moment. It's been almost 2 years since Leah Pruitt was behind the wheel of a Top Fuel dragster in competition. She and Tony Stewart got married. They decided to concentrate on starting a family, so she got out of the racer, turned it over to her husband and boss, Stewart, who ended up winning the 2024 NHRA Rookie of the Year honors, and this year claimed the Top Fuel regular season championship and is the odds-on favorite, we'll get to that in a bit, to claim the division title after the six-pack of Countdown to the Championship events. But Mama's going to be back. And I think we all figured, because of the way that they had been talking, and I say they because this was Leah Pruitt and Tony Stewart both saying this is her car, we knew it was just a matter of time, and on Tuesday of this week, they announced smoke would be out, Pruitt back in that Top Fuel ride as of next year. Thing about it is, she hadn't really been absent from the Tony Stewart racing team since the birth of their son, Dominic. She has been at most of the races.
Yeah.
She has been very active in the marketing initiatives for the team, helping the crew chiefs do other things involving kind of the day-to-day operations.
Right.
And as I said, Tony himself said from the day that he was officially announced as Pruitt's replacement, it was always her car. He was just sitting in it. He said on Tuesday, quote, "I'm excited to see Leah get back in the car." However, he and Leah stopped short of announcing what he would be doing next season. I liked the fact that they had a little bit of fun with it in a couple of videos. One of them even mentioned the fact that Leah even said, Tony's now open for a Daytona 500 run. Don't count on it.
That's not happening.
Again, I like the fact that they were having a lot of fun with it. It creates this whole thing of, hey, what's the speculation? But the thing about it is, he has been seen testing a pro stock car for Elite Motorsports. There's always the idea of maybe adding another Top Fuel ride because Tony Stewart Racing is only a two-car operation, one funny car, one Top Fuel.
Yeah.
There's always that possibility.
And then comes this.
And then came the other shoe. The day after the report of Pruitt returning to her Top Fuel ride, Tony Stewart Racing and Elite Motorsports announced they had formed an alliance to cover the marketing and hospitality of both teams. Marketing and hospitality. Trust me, it's a lot deeper than that. Scratch the surface a little bit on this.
Because I had my eyes on how the setup was in Indianapolis in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
I see where they're going with this right here because Don Schumacher and Ron Capps has something very, very similar to this set up for hospitality in Indianapolis.
Okay. What this is going to do is allow these two teams to work together. They can combine assets, potentially seeing partners cross over from one team to the other. And there's a whole lot more, they say. And this is going to affect both organizations because we're dealing with Top Fuel, Funny Car, Pro Stock car levels in the Mission Foods Drag Racing Series. Lower divisions, they'll include racing series like Mountain Motor Pro Stock, Comp Eliminator, and Pro Modified, all of which Elite has ownership of at least one car in.
Right.
Again, Tony Stewart Racing, two-car operation, one Top Fuel, the other in Funny Car. Elite is the largest team in NHRA competition right now. They've got 8 Pro Stock cars, 1 Mountain Motor Pro Stocker, 1 Comp Eliminator, and 1 Pro Mod car each, and I wouldn't be surprised if they have some part-time operations and maybe thinking about doing more. Speaking of, should be noted that on the same day Pruitt announced she was coming back to her Top Fuel ride. So the announcement between Tony Stewart Racing and Elite was Wednesday. Tuesday was the day Leah Pruitt announced that she was coming back to Top Fuel, right? Mm-hmm. Here's your timeline. On Tuesday, this was kind of overlooked. Elite bought the Top Fuel program of Josh Hart. And at this point in time now, Elite and Tony Stewart Racing are now actively working towards getting that ride sponsorship. And they state once it's fully funded, then it will become a full-time ride. Most importantly, no driver's been attached.
Yet.
Tony Stewart, anybody?
There is your second TSR Top Fuel car.
If you honestly believed that with the success in relatively short time that Tony Stewart has had adapting to Top Fuel was just going to have him go, well, it's been a fun 2 years. Let me go back to ownership.
No.
Tony Stewart's a racer.
I know Tony Stewart too well.
Tony Stewart's a racer, plain and simple. Has he turned out to be a pretty decent owner by and large? Yes, he has.
He's turned out to be a pretty popular owner in NHRA.
Yeah, exactly. And he has an enthusiasm for this that he did not have the last, 3-4 years that he had been the half owner of Stewart House Racing.
Yeah, that
he has an enthusiasm here that is just so obvious.
Oh, yeah. It's clear. And then that won't be, I'll call my shot now. That will not be a full TSR top fuel car. That'll be the TSR Elite top fuel car.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah, this will be the co-ed.
This will be the anchor cope, the car that anchors the partnership.
Yeah.
If you want to word it that
way.
This will be the car that anchors the partnership. You know, I know, America knows, the world knows. The one person that will not have an issue getting funding for a car is Anthony Stewart.
Yeah. Well, and, again, we're talking Elite Motorsports here. Elite has gone out and found the funding for 8 Pro Stock rides. I don't think either side's going to have a problem marketing this car.
No.
No. Like you said, this is the bridge over the gap between where Tony Stewart is and where Elite is.
The one thing that's my question mark to see which path it goes down is TSR is Mopar back team.
Mm-hmm.
Elite, General Motors.
It is a question. We'll see where it goes. The idea of starting a family, apparently, though, did grab a hold of one of Pruitt's competitors. So while Pruitt will step back into her Top Fuel ride next year, she will not face Brittany Force. Brittany Force has announced she's going to step out of her Top Fuel ride at the end of this season to focus on starting a family. John Force Racing Top Fuel ride will run in 2026. Driver to be announced later. Brittany Force, who has set new to NHRA top speed records this year twice, said this, quote, "After dedicating the last 13 years of my life to the NHRA and to John Force Racing, I have made the difficult and bittersweet decision to step out of the seat of my Top Fuel dragster at the end of the season to try and start a family with my husband, Bobby." She did note that she has not yet decided on whether or not she will return to driving. But here's the thing. Racing gets in your blood. You're a driver. You know this.
I was thinking the other day about maybe about time to get back in the seat and try something.
Yeah. It gets in your blood, but a family, does that change things?
Oh, yeah, it does. Absolutely, it does.
Make you think long term as opposed to short term? I mean, being behind the wheel is certainly something that you love to do, but it's one of those things that there's a time frame on that. Even if you don't have a kid.
There is, even though NHRA's got a longer time frame, in my opinion.
Yeah. Witness John Force.
Yeah. John Force, Warren Johnson raced for so long. Bob Glidden raced for so long. Eddie Hill raced for so long. Names like that show that that NHRA has a longer, I'm going to word it, you got a longer shelf life to be able to race.
That's a good way to put it.
Versus running road courses and ovals like Indycar, stock cars, anything like that. Case in point, that ability, just like Leah's showing, take a couple years off, make sure everything's good, get back in the seat. Mm-hmm. I could see her doing that same path, but at the same time, I could see her going on the same path that both of her sisters went. It could go both ways.
Sure. Yeah.
But tip of the cap to her and her husband. Hey,
all the best.
All the best. Huge respect. Wish you every ounce of best wishes that I've got and hope that everything works out.
110%. So here's the deal. If, and this is a huge capitalized, bold-faced, italicized, big-time if, because this is pure speculation, but if Brittany Force does not return to racing, she's going to finish her career in pretty fine fettle. 2013 NHRA Rookie of the Year, claimed her first event win at the 2016 Gator Nationals. 2017 claimed her first Top Fuel Division title. In all, she's got 18 Top Fuel event wins, 56 top qualifiers, and won a second Top Fuel title in 2022. And, oh, by the way,
And 70
like we just mentioned, she has set the all-time NHRA speed record, not just once this year, but twice.
and 764 speed records.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing how many speed records for... She owns the speed record for almost, I think, every track on the NHRA circuit.
Pretty sure. Pretty sure. And knowing that she's only got 6 races left before she stepped out of the car. And
Stepping it up now.
And knowing that they've already broke 343.
No telling what this team can do.
Dare I say, and I'm still not fully awake, but I'm going to say it anyway. Dare I say 345, 346 won't get pushed,
Oh, yeah.
if not higher.
No, I could see that. I could definitely see that. As for that future that we were talking about, her dad, John, got to talking about, and of course, John seems pretty much done with his driving career, unfortunately, but Dad John said that he and Brittany argued over her decision, but as he noted, Brittany, quote, makes her own decisions, unquote. Then added that, quote, she owns all this, unquote, talking about the team, noting that he and his wife, Lori, and I know I'm interspersing a whole lot of quotes here. He and his wife, Lori, quote, decided a while back we would gift everything to our 4 girls, so she's an owner. If I fall over dead, she'll run all this stuff, unquote. Meantime, John says he has intentions on actually adding to John Force Racing. Exactly how, we don't know. All he concluded with was, quote, if anybody has trailers for sale, I'm looking for 2.
Looking for 2 trailers.
Dude's he's a 3-car team, 2 funny car, 1 top fuel. Am I right?
Force,
Hagen, Jack Beckman, funny car, Brittany Force, top fuel?
No, Proc and Jack Beckman, funny
Proc,
car.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Proc, Jack Beckman, funny car, Brittany Force, top fuel. That's it, right?
He should have one, unless he sold it. He should have a spare trailer because he had 2 and 2 before Proc took over Robert Height's car.
Okay. But Height left. Anyway, he said he's looking for 2 trailers. That's John. Just putting it out there. I mentioned the odds for the countdown to the championship. Alt Sports Data has come out with their odds of each of the countdown to the championship entrants in all 4 Mission Foods drag racing divisions and their title chances. We're not going to go wading too deep into the numbers. We're just going to give you the favorite, at least according to Alt Sports Data, for each of the Mission Foods drag racing series divisions. In Top Fuel, they think that the regular season champion, Tony Stewart's going to add to his already loaded trophy case by adding to his Indycar and 3 Cup Series titles a Top Fuel title. Now, they don't give him the overwhelming odds. He is the favorite, but it is pretty close between him and second and third place, remembering the numbers. But they still put him in there.
Let's see what the exact numbers are.
While you're doing that, Austin Prock, he's your defending funny car champion. He's the overwhelming favorite to repeat in funny car. Dallas Glenn is a slight favorite over Greg Anderson to take the title in Pro Stock car. And considering that pair dominated the regular season, it's no real surprise that those 2 are the leaders in the clubhouse there. And also not a surprise, Pro Stock motorcycle, Gage Herrera, like Austin Prock, major favorite to claim his 2nd straight title in Pro Stock motorcycle. What do you got?
Okay. Okay. Top Fuel. Tony Stewart is plus 240. Sean Langdon is plus 300.
Again, that's not really a huge gap in the grand scheme of things.
Justin Ashley's plus 375.
Now we're starting to see some separation.
Doug Coletta's plus 600. And Brittany Force is plus 650.
So like I said, not an overwhelming favorite, but he is a favorite. And that's that. You think about this. This guy was the rookie of the year last year.
Here's where the separation is, kids. Funny car, Austin Prock.
Like I said, overwhelming favorite.
Minus 1,600.
Whereas Fast Jack Beckman in second.
Plus 425.
There you go. That's a 2,000-point swing, boys and girls. On the heels of announcing the Fox Indycar partnership has paid big dividends for the season, Fox, who's of course now been the longtime TV partner with the NHRA.
Pro Stock's worse.
I know. Announced that the Labor Day telecast of the U.S. Nationals finals in Indianapolis were some of the best ratings they've had for that event in years. The Monday finals, no competition from any other racing on television. Remember, it played out on Labor Day. Pulled in 1.036 million pairs of eyes. That marked the best U.S. Nationals telecast ever. Highest rated NHRA event telecast that was not adjacent to an NFL telecast. And in addition, Indianapolis Raceway Park noted all camping spots were sold out. The grandstands were sold out. The top Eliminator Club seats and the tower and concourse seats in the new Wally Parks Tower were sold out. Tell me that when you put things on the network and you air them live or plausibly live in the case of the NHRA, it doesn't pay dividends.
Pays a ton, especially Indianapolis. It pays a ton.
Mm-hmm. Let's go ahead and start in on Formula One here before we take a break. Despite being in their history by 75 years, think about that. We're still talking about firsts in F1. Last Sunday in Italy, 2 of them happened, with Max Verstappen not only claiming the win, he did it in what was the fastest race in Formula One history, claimed with the fastest average speed of any Formula One race ever. Verstappen is a 4-time reigning F1 champion, as noted in the recap, led the overwhelming majority of the race. He averaged a speed of 155.791 miles per hour. And when the race was shown the checkers, it was done in a fairly neat time of 1 hour, 31 minutes, 24.325 seconds. Now, like we said, Monza, it's easy for me to say. Monza is known as the pretty much fastest track in Formula One. But this bests the previous records both set at Monza. Remember I said 155.791 on an average speed. Previous best 153.842, so almost 2 full miles per hour quicker. That time of that race, 141, I transposed the numbers, 1 hour, 41 minutes, 19.838 seconds, done by the legend Michael Schumacher way back in 2003 when he was racing for Ferrari. So a significant difference between the two.
Plus, they had the fastest pole speed ever, too.
Wow.
Like a minute 13, I think.
There you go. On the other hand, there's Haas F1 rookie Ollie Behrman. Ollie Behrman is close to having to sit out a race. Seems that the rookie was trying to defend on Carlos Sainz at Monza and was on the inside line, but Sainz had more speed and he was able to get his nose ahead when Behrman attempted to mount a comeback. He was unable to hold his line, and it caused him to get into Sainz and spun both of them out. Race stewards figured Behrman was at fault. He was given in the race a 10-second time penalty. Ultimately, he finished outside of the points in 12th place. And then the FIA turned around and added 2 penalty points to his license. Now, as we have noted, if a driver accumulates 12 penalty points in any 12-month period, they have to sit out a race. Behrman now sits at 10. His first points won't go off of his license until Mexico City's Grand Prix, which is next month or 4 races from now.
Yeah, buddy.
Good luck.
Yeah.
By the way, another guy who's also fairly close on that, Max Verstappen.
Been close.
Whose points don't fall off until, oh, that's right, Mexico City. Same race. But Max Verstappen has shown, being the veteran that he is, Ollie Behrman's still a rookie. He's still learning in some ways on this particular level. Yep. There are still things that he thinks he can do, but physically he can't. You know, it's the old your mind's writing checks, your body can't cash deal. He's a rookie. He's got learning to do.
The NASCAR Cup Series heads to Bristol.
Here we come down to the green flag. Alex Bowman gets the jump. By her teammates, that's Carson Hocevar. He'll drive to the outside of Justin Haley and challenge for second.
fuel only. Go, go, go. We're back to the Championship Racing Network.
I threw Matt, myself, and producer John all for a loop on that. I didn't put our regular commercial intro in there. I apologize. Back into the news here as we have a short time to get there, as the old saying goes. Alpine team and their parent company Renault set to end their in-house manufacturing arm, become a customer team instead of a full works team. There's been some speculation that Renault might be thinking of getting out of Formula One again. And then their new CEO comes in, channels the coach, Lee Corso, and effectively tells everybody who's going to listen, not so fast, my friend. At the end of July, Renault installed their new CEO. His name, Francois Provost. He took over for Luca De Meo, who resigned earlier this year. It was De Meo who decided to end the production of the in-house F1 engine program, and for next year, they're going to start using Mercedes engines. But Provost said last weekend at the Italian Grand Prix at Monza, his first race he attended as a CEO, by the way, quote, "My visit aims mainly to reaffirm we are staying in Formula One. Staying in Formula One for a long time." He noted a bit of news that we talked about on the show here last week as proof that they're going to be around in the future because they signed Pierre Gasly to a contract extension, going to keep him with the team through 2028 at least. Provost added after that, quote, "That's also a very positive sign. We're entering a new era, which will be a performance era, but above all, a stability era. Pierre's commitment demonstrates this as well." Notice he doesn't say anything about the other seat. Steve's appointment, no, not me, as my managing director is a good example too. So you see, we've made many steps forward. That Steve he's referring to as Steve Nielsen, managing director of the F1 team. He's the right-hand man for Flavio Briatore, who's the Alpine team boss. Flavio Briatore. Likely, though, going to be the final year for Formula One on ESPN ABC. Reportedly, there is a deal that's been put on the table by Apple Plus. Amazon Prime still considered to be a player for 2026 and beyond. But the head honchos at Disney, ABC, and ESPN's parent company, it's early in the morning. I'm still working this out. They're likely quite happy with what they've been seeing in the final year of the partnership, which is higher than ever ratings. Last weekend's broadcast of the Italian Grand Prix on ESPN2, mind you, again, welcome to football season, drew 1.2 million viewers. That's the highest ratings in the U.S. ever for that race. Marks the 10th time this season that a race has drawn highest viewership ever for Formula One and ABC ESPN. So far, only actually Miami did not exceed the viewership number from 2024, which is a little bit of a surprise to me. This year, the average number of people watching an F1 race, whether it's on ABC, ESPN, or ESPN2, 1.4 million. That's up from last year's average number of 1.21 million. Other races that have new viewership records in the U.S. include Australia, China, Monaco, Spain, Canada, Austria, Great Britain, Belgium, and the Netherlands. Final third of the season should also be good for ABC and ESPN. It includes 2 races here in the United States, Las Vegas and COTA, not in that order. Plus, we got the races in Mexico and Brazil, and the airtime for those races will be a lot more convenient for your American-based viewers. The Constructors' Cup, yeah, it's all but in hand, but the driver's title's still in question, so there's a little bit of drama there, too.
1.2 million for Formula One in the wee hours of the morning. Just a little bit over 1.5, 1.6, I think, for Cup.
On USA.
On USA. Houston, we have a problem.
NBC, you've got a problem.
Big.
Speaking of the Cup Series, 2 of the 3 Trackhouse Racing entries made it to the checkered flag last Sunday. Daniel Suarez was out of the race early. And then the race ended. Checkered flag shown. That means cool down lap. A couple of drivers got on their team radios to report some odd activity by both Ross Chastain and Shane Van Gisbergen. First noted they were running up against the wall, as if to say, add some rubber marbles to the Goodyear tires to the ones that were on their cars. And then after that, they dropped down to the apron of the track and ran their left side tires in the grass before they accessed the emergency lane that led them onto pit road for a post-race quick inspection on pit road, and then onto the full race post-race inspection. Before I get into what NASCAR said about this, what's the purpose? I keep hearing about this adding just even a few ounces of weight just to make sure that you're over the limit. I mean, I get it. These guys are running a razor's edge when it comes to how much weight they're putting on there, but that doesn't seem like it would be enough. You know?
Oh, it can be more than you think.
Okay.
Way more than you think.
All right.
But the running in the grass part makes no sense.
Wouldn't that actually take some of the marbles off? I mean, to me,
Not
that seems like
necessarily.
to me that seems like something that would clean it.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
But this whole thing right here has me confused. Like, what's the motive? What's the purpose?
Yeah. You know,
Yeah,
and one car doing it, I could kind of understand it. Maybe you're doing something and you realize way too late that you're running up too high and you jerk the wheel. But apparently, whoever was following and whoever was leading, they both did the exact same thing.
Mom, little Johnny's running through the grass.
Yeah. Alex Bowman was one of the guys. NASCAR officials said that they talked to the folks at Trackhouse Racing, warned them not to do it again or risk disqualification. Again, tell me what they're doing that's illegal. Is it weird? Yes.
That.
But tell me what they're doing that's illegal. Just because it's weird doesn't make it wrong.
Oh, what's weird and making it wrong would be seeing lead shot come out of a car. See 1970s.
DW at Bristol.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just saying.
That. But it's
I don't
this whole thing is confusing.
Yeah, I got you. Hendrick Motorsports has announced that they're kind of in last-ditch effort mode. They want to keep Alex Bowman's playoff hopes alive. So what they've done is taken his pit crew and switched it with the Spire Motorsports number 77 of Carson Hocevar. Now, keep in mind, the Spire teams are Hendrick crews. They train them, they supply them, so Hendrick can recall them at any point in time. Bowman goes into tonight's race, again, 35 points under the cut line. The thing about this is Bowman's had trouble on pit road, right? Very slow pit stop at Darlington, another slow pit stop at Worldwide Tech Raceway. It's submarined all the on-track efforts from Bowman. For example, airline not attached to a backup gun. A misplaced jack caused the car to fall off of it at the two different tracks. The jack man, the tire changers, tire carrier all swapping. Only the gas men are not going to swap. A lot of people have been asking about why you're going to do this and do this now. Look at the numbers of the performance on pit road in the rankings, and of all of the teams that Hendrick has, as it turned out, the 77 crew performed the best on the track.
Yeah.
So they made the switch.
Yep.
I get it. You're trying to continue on in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got to do what you got to do to be able to get the pit stops better.
And I heard them talk about this during qualifying yesterday, and it's a very good point. If you're one of the people that got swapped to the 77 and you're ticked off about it, this is your opportunity to show them that they made the wrong move. Go out there and do everything right and put the 77 up there.
Yeah.
This is your opportunity. It's not like they fired you. They just put you on another team.
Just swapped you, yeah.
Now go prove yourself.
Exactly.
Sad news out of NASCAR as we lost another one over the past weekend. Former team owner Bill Davis. Born William A. Davis, January 18th, 1951 in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Like his father, got into the trucking business early. He was a salesman for Peterbilt before he started his own company in Batesville. Through trucking, he met up with the Martin family and their young son, Mark, who had an affinity for piloting a race car, as it turned out. Davis supported Mark's efforts in the ASA in the early 1980s, and then again when he got into the early days of the Busch Series, and ended up for a short time partnering with Jack Roush. But he decided he liked being in NASCAR so much, he and his wife Gail moved from Arkansas to North Carolina in 1990, and shortly after found a young kid born in California and raised in Indiana to get his Busch Series team off the ground. That kid, Jeff Gordon. Jeff Gordon won Rookie of the Year in the number 1 Ford, and they were successful the next year as well. And Davis was planning on going Cup Series racing with Gordon in the 1993 season, and was actually close to a sponsorship deal with Target stores. But in May of 1992, Gordon told Davis he'd signed a deal with Hendrick. Took all the air out of Davis's sales and ended the potential sponsorship between him and Target. Forced to turn elsewhere, he found a kid out of Texas. Turned out to be the younger brother of Terry Labonte. You probably heard of him. Bobby. Signed him after the 1993 season. Shortly after Labonte moved to Joe Gibbs Racing, Davis pivoted again. This time picked up a kid by the name of Ward Burton for the 1995 season. Burton stuck with Davis as he moved from Pontiac to Dodge when the team returned to NASCAR in 2000, or when that brand, I should say, returned to NASCAR in 2001. Davis would expand to a 2-car operation for 2000, first with Dave Blaney and then drivers like Hut Strickland and Kenny Wallace before the second car became a part-time entry for a couple of years, before finally partnering with Michael Waltrip and then Jeremy Mayfield before the car went away in early 2008. But the main car, the 22, piloted by Burton through 2003, signed to drive for Haas CNC the next year, by the way. Scott Wimmer took over, and then back to Dave Blaney through the end of the organization after the 2008 year. Part of the problem? He and Cup Series partnership with Dodge, not really the smoothest, because in 2003, Dodge found out that Davis was building trucks for Toyota. They were coming into NASCAR for the 2004 season, and it turned out he was still running Pontiacs in the Busch Series because Dodge was only giving Bill Davis Racing Dodge factory support for the Cup Series. Dodge proceeded to pull factory support from Bill Davis Racing at that point in time, continued to run the Dodge brand until 2006 when he tried to switch for Toyota. But a court ruling said he had to pay Dodge in breach of contract suit, and that hurt him, and he was done after the 2008 NASCAR season. Davis's drivers won 5 Cup Series races, 11 races in what's now the Xfinity Series, and 24 races in the Craftsman Truck Series, including 1 title with Johnny Benson in 2008. But spending his money on the race operation gutted his Bill Davis trucking operation. That had to file for bankruptcy in 2007, and it shut down. Davis sold off his assets to various operations, his truck division going to Triad Racing Technologies, which worked with MBM Motorsports in 2020, by the way. 2016, Davis was inducted into the Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame. He and his wife had returned to their native Arkansas, and it was there that he passed away Saturday, September the 6th. No cause of death revealed. Bill Davis was 74 years old. It's quite the legacy when you really, though, stop.
For sure, yeah. Yep, absolutely.
Junior Motorsports having a banner season. Witness that we were mentioning when it came to Connor Zilic during the race recap. Now they're trying to win an Xfinity Series title. Also looking ahead to next season, and announced over the weekend, Sammy Smith has signed a contract extension. He'll be back driving for them in 2026 in the number 8 car. That marks his 3rd year with the organization. Not a bad deal if you can get it.
Sure. Very, very true.
And as far as the TV talk is concerned, first year of the Xfinity Series on the CW network netted NASCAR's secondary series a major benefit. TV contracts going back to 2001 when Fox and NBC began splitting the Cup Series season and what is now the Xfinity Series season, split between the two entities, but rarely did the Xfinity Series get network attention. Usually it was relegated to cable. And in addition, after using NBC Sports personnel to broadcast the final 8 races of 2024, they've gotten their own production team, their own announcers. They include the likes of Adam Alexander, along with former NASCAR drivers Jamie McMurray and Parker Kligerman. And they've been very open in their opinions, whether they be good or bad. And the ratings for the broadcast show that the series is on target to claim the biggest average viewership for any season since 2018. So far this year, Xfinity Series, 1.08 million people. Up from the 2024 season split between Fox and NBC Sports, which averaged 943,000.
Pretty good.
And then there's Auto Week magazine. They're reporting that the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation is looking into the use of state funds for Rockingham Speedway. Last month, Hamlet, North Carolina's city manager John Terzui accused Richmond County officials of taking state grant money meant for improvements at the racetrack for an overdue bill owed for a vendor. Been no comment since. The investigation is ongoing. We'll keep an eye on it for you.
Righty.
Yeah, kind of nuts, really. Mm-hmm. As we said, it's a short show for us. We'll be back next weekend, I think, for an entire 2-hour full show. It all depends on kickoff.
True.
Cross flags this week as well. Don't forget on that one. We'll get to that on Tuesday.
Hold that thought. Alabama's off next week.
A presentation
there
of
you
the
go.
Championship Racing Network.
WDNG 1450